Welcome back to Imperial Order, everybody. It's been a long time, but we're back at it. I'm stoked, man. This is my favorite show we do on this channel, I'm telling you. So
Same.
It's going to be a lot of fun to get back into it and just stay consistent doing it every week. It's not that we didn't want to, trust me. It's scheduling conflicts have been really tough, but I think we figured it out now to where we can all do it pretty consistently from here on out. But yeah, David Tresh is also going to be usually joining the show from here on out. Just today he had a thing, but you know, at least we got the both of us back together talking Star Wars again. Oh yeah, this is exciting.
Let's go.
I can't wait, man.
Yeah.
This is where we really hit our stride, I feel like, on this channel, dude. And yeah, I'm just so stoked to be back doing it. But yeah, dude, obviously Jose Espinel's here. Jose, what's going on, man? How you doing?
So man, great. We just finished filming Movie Morning, so
we did.
Make sure to go check that out.
Yeah, it'll be on tomorrow. So yeah.
Exactly, and I can't wait to get into to talking to Star Wars. Like Dom said, this is my favorite show as well, and I feel like we're best at this because I mean, what do we know best than Star Wars? I mean, Star Wars is our thing. So I mean, and this is where we're passionate about, and so I just love. When we record Imperial Orders, I know it's gonna be good because it's just what we both just love so much. So.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad Dave's not here today, though. I'll tell you why. Because I did rewatch Rise of Skywalker, and I didn't want to get into a thing. And like, yeah. So let me tell you this. So rewatching the movie, I had quite a lot of fun with it. Not today, but yesterday I rewatched it. I had quite a lot of fun with it this time for some reason. I still think it has problems out the wazoo. I'm not going to deny that. But I had fun. I had fun with it. I watched it. Well, I did the whole trilogy yesterday. So I did Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, and I had more fun with Rise of Skywalker this last time around.
Funny I actually did the same thing, not yesterday, but about a week ago.
Oh, nice.
Before watching Game of Thrones, I decided to watch the newest trilogy over again, just to kind of get a fresh watch of it. And I won't lie, this third, because this is like the third time that I watched, because I remember we did the rewatch where we did and we didn't get to 9. I don't believe, or did we?
Did 9.
Okay, we did 9. We did 7, 8, and 9. I remember, and this time around watching it, I enjoyed Force Awakens a lot more than I previously had. Last Jedi still, I mean, it was fucking amazing. I loved it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I mean, Rise of Skywalker, there were parts in the movie that I did enjoy more this time around. But like you did say, there are still issues with the movie.
Yeah.
There are certain scenes that I did enjoy a lot more, like the connection with Rey and Kylo when Kylo's fighting the Knights of Ren. When he like pulls out the lightsaber from his back and then just like starts beating him up.
That's great.
That was sick. And then Rey pulling out Leia's lightsaber was also
that
sick.
Stuff's awesome. Yeah.
It's
always been good. That's always been like the best part of the movie. But like, the thing that it's interesting because when I was looking at the Palpatine situation, which has always been one of my bigger problems in the movie, is the fact that just Palpatine is just kind of back. And it's just kind of, it seems a little random, but then like again, like I listened to the line because I did the prequels also like maybe a week ago on top of this, and I was listening to the line again where he was like the dark side is a pathway to many abilities that some consider to be unnatural. And it's really interesting because a lot of us complain about that as like kind of an explanation, but on the same hand, if you look at Revenge of the Sith, and this is a part of the same series of movies and a part of the same saga, and it's supposed to be, when you look at Revenge of the Sith and you really start to think about the fact that he did kind of explain it to Anakin back then. If you kind of look at it from that perspective, it's not as bothersome, I guess, to me anymore, because when I started looking at it from the perspective of all this stuff was explained to Anakin back in Revenge of the Sith when they're sitting down at the opera, he kind of told you right then and there's an ability to stop those you care about from dying. He just never really talked about the ability to do that for yourself. So granted, it's kind of, there is sort of an explanation in the series overall. And I know that, we sometimes, and I'm guilty of it too, we want to be spoon-fed things from time to time. And, it would have been nice to have a better explanation of Rise of Skywalker. But I will say, like, rewatching it, because I had done the prequels the week prior again, like, and thinking about the line in Revenge of the Sith and how it's really a part of the same series. It's really not, it's a stretch, but it's not as big of a stretch, I guess, as I used to feel. Like I kind of don't feel like it's as bad of a thing as I once did. And then the other part of it too, and again, I'm not saying I love the movie now. It's just a more of a fact because there's still like I think there's editing choices I'm not a big fan of and things like that in there. But you know, one of the things I was looking at again too was the epilogue. Because I remember talking to Sammy about the epilogue, and I don't think that she had a problem with her taking the Skywalker name, and I really don't either. But
Yeah,
I think
neither.
I don't
Honestly,
really think that's an issue. That made a lot of sense to me because the series is, and I'll get into this. I'll kind of continue off this point here in a second. When you look at the sequel trilogy, if you look at the prequels, the prequels are the downfall of Skywalker. Ironically, the originals are the rise of Skywalker, in my opinion. Like that's my definition of the original trilogy. Ironically, those are the rise of Skywalker. And then if you look at the sequels, they're the legacy of Skywalker, right? Like that's kind of the
right.
idea of them, in my opinion. And you know, while kind of adding like a little bit of extra narrative and expansion to everything that's come before, it's one of the things that Sammy brought to my attention a long time ago, and I really agreed with her, was the fact that Rey burying the lightsabers was really stupid and pointless, and there was really no reason for it, and I never understood it either, except, and I think I think rewatching the prequels helped me a lot here, because when this time around, what I noticed is if you look at the angle that Rey is from the house, the Skywalker home, where Luke grew up, it's exactly the same area where Anakin buried Shmi Skywalker when his mother died. That's where he buried his mother. Is like right at that same spot, pretty much. You okay over there? You got a ghost?
No, there's lightning, bro, or
Oh shit!
thunder.
Fuck.
It's fucking loud as hell.
Well,
Yeah.
the internet goes out. I don't know why. But yeah. So if you look at where Rey's standing when she buries the two Skywalker lightsabers, Leia's and Luke's, it's right around the same spot where Shmi Skywalker was buried. That's where Anakin
Right.
buried his mother. So to me, keeping in the theme of the legacy of Skywalker, that's just one more thing we can put in this spot to where we can memorialize Skywalker, you know, and so like I kind of like it now. That I actually really enjoyed.
No, yeah. Now you said that. Yeah, that's honestly great, and it makes me appreciate it even more
Yeah. I
for
don't
sure.
like when JJ was talking about, because I remember he came out on I love Peter Travers' show on, I think it's on ABC. It's called Popcorn with Peter Travers, and he always has different actors on and stuff when movies are coming out. And I remember when Rise of Skywalker was coming out, he had on JJ Abrams, and JJ was talking about ambiguity, and that always kind of stuck with me, where he said he wanted to, when making Rise of Skywalker, keep a lot of things ambiguous. He's because he felt like to him that was something about Star Wars, like, and he's not wrong in the sense that over time we've probably come to notice things about the Star Wars movies, like the originals, that you know you can kind of keep picking up on certain details, like whether it's just something that maybe like George Lucas just put in the background as an Easter egg or what have
Right.
you. And JJ was kind of talking about that a little bit and how he kind of wanted to incorporate the same thing in the movie. And I remember telling Sammy about this epilogue take I had just this week when I watched it, and or yesterday. And Sammy said that she actually enjoyed my take on it. She wishes that JJ just would have made that a little bit more clear in the movie. And what I told her is, sure, I mean, I get it, but I'm not going to lie to you. When it comes to Rise of Skywalker or the sequels in general, I've kind of enjoyed the thrill of the hunt for these things. Like, I've kind of enjoyed just peeling them back a little bit more and trying to look for different details like this. I kind of enjoy that they're kind of hidden a little bit. And I think Rise of Skywalker, probably the more we watch it, maybe the more hidden shit we'll
Has
find.
I was about to say, I feel like that one has the most hidden stuff of
Yeah.
the three movies. That one has the most hidden
Yeah. I,
stuff for sure.
I will say I do tend to, every time I watch it, reassess it just a little bit more. And again, it's interesting. I just wonder if, you know, this was very purposeful by JJ, because he was talking about ambiguity and how he likes that, and he has his whole life. If you look at Force Awakens, there's so many people call them the mystery boxes, right? There's so many different
Hmm.
mystery boxes that are planted in that movie. That's JJ's trademark, is mystery boxes and lens flare, which, by the way, Rise of Skywalker is littered with lens flare in his shots. That's ridiculous. But yeah, dude, I was kind of looking
I'm
at
in,
that, but
also going to tell you that, you know, speaking of the, you know, episode 7, 8, 9, I actually, for my midterm paper for film class, I actually wrote about the throne room scene in Last
dope,
Jedi.
dope.
And that, yeah, and ended up getting me. And I also wrote a bit about the scene with Luke force ghosting in front of Kylo.
Yeah.
In that paper, I got a 90 on that paper.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah,
Let's
I
be
actually
honest,
really.
though. The throne room scene, you didn't write that paper. That paper writes itself. I mean, let's be real.
I
It
mean, you're
really
not
does.
wrong. It does.
Like,
Yeah,
no, because you could just you look at that
because the
scene one
paper,
time, and
because
there's
the
so
paper,
much.
the paper for the midterm, I had to write about the cinematography
Mhm.
of the scene, and I mean that just writes itself because I mean
It does.
cinematography of Last Jedi just can write its own paper.
Yeah.
Like it's just so good, the cinematography used within that scene alone. I
Yeah.
mean, gosh.
Yeah. No,
And then
yeah,
with Force ghosting in front of Kylo too when Luke does that. I mean, that just writes itself as well
I
because
think so
that
too.
whole stuff is some great
Yeah.
cinematography, man.
Yeah, I think it's some really great stuff to write about, for sure, for something like that, because there's a lot that Ryan puts in that movie. That's just, yeah. And, you know, like the difference between like Ryan and JJ, whether JJ definitely does put Easter eggs and things in his movies. It's just with Ryan makes a movie that it kind of tells you a lot more about, like, it lends itself to you to, it tells the audience that this is a movie that you're not going to understand. You know what I mean? Like, because you got to peel it back. You have to analyze this movie to understand it, and people just blatantly don't like that. With JJ, you could find a good movie just on the surface, you know, with JJ, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have Easter eggs too. And I think
It's
that
true.
that's where the balance of the, I think that's why the two are so, they feel so unparalleled. Like the two, as filmmakers, they really do feel like very unparalleled with one another. You know, where they're just very different filmmakers. Their approach,
That is
um,
true.
and I think that's why, is because JJ on the surface will give you something entertaining to watch, but he's not going to tell you that there's Easter eggs, but there are. Ryan, he's telling his audience, there's stuff in my movie. You got to really think about this one and process it before you can appreciate what I'm really giving you. He makes you work for it, you know, Ryan. He really does. He really makes you work for the prize, you know. And I think, like, once you do, it always pays off in his movies. JJ just doesn't make you work for it. That's the difference. He'll just give you something.
Yeah.
JJ gives you the cotton candy, man. He just gives you the fluffy cotton candy, and he's like, here you go, eat this up. There's going to be stuff in his movies, though, I think, too, that you just got to look for, and I'm starting to notice that, especially his last time watching Rise of Skywalker. There's good stuff in that movie. There really is tremendously great things in that movie that is, you can analyze, for sure, without a doubt. But yeah, dude. Anyway, I just wanted to touch on that really quick because
I just can't believe that the audience score for Rise of Skywalker is better than Last Jedi. Still, that baffles me.
that's my point, though. JJ, he gives it to the audience. You know, Ryan makes you work for it. You know, he
And then I was
makes you
gonna say
work
the
for the
first.
prize.
I mean,
You
the
know?
Force Awakens has the best score of all of them combined. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. And I get why it does. Don't get me wrong, because JJ made a movie that was, with Force Awakens. Yes, it's simple, but it's there is a lot of art to that movie too. Like, there's a lot of artistic integrity
yeah,
there, I guess.
but I mean, compared to Last Jedi, I mean, come on now.
Well, that's my point. Once you work for it and you get it and you peel it back, you really get it, and if you understand what Ryan's doing, Last Jedi is the better movie. It's the, and you're in film class, so I actually wanted to ask you, in your opinion, now that I've rewatched them, do you think, and I mean of all the Star Wars movies, and this is my take, while of course New Hope and Empire are my favorite Star Wars movies, I still
Yep,
stand
same.
by the fact, from a technical and visual standpoint, Last Jedi, and this is something that you can quantify, I think, from a technical visual standpoint, and you being in school, I wanted to ask you, do you think it's the best directed movie from the technical visual standpoint? Because I still stand by that. I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I've said, the technology difference between A New Hope and The Last Jedi. I mean, you can't really compare. Where I mean, don't get me wrong, A New Hope is still directed nicely. It's like one whole flowing
I agree.
story.
Yeah.
Um, in terms of, yeah, I mean, it is because of the technology that you know they have now. For I would say that Last Jedi is the best directed. I mean, you
Hmm.
just look at the cinematography that Ryan Johnson has used throughout the entire movie. I mean, the
Yeah.
throne room scene, the Force goes to Kylo with Luke. I mean, yeah, I mean the stuff with with Luke and Ray. I mean, the training stuff is great. I mean, the chemistry with Kylo and Ray, that whole stuff too, in the Last Jedi was some great stuff too. So
yeah, I want to bounce off your point though about the technology being better though, because there's something, and I do think that's a testament actually to the originals, because they do still hold up so well. Those original, the original, at least New Hope and Empire especially, hold up very well from the visual and technical side. They actually, because George was smart by using practical stuff instead of CGI all the time in those, and then he went the other way with it on the prequels. Everything is CGI in the prequels, but no, he was smart in that in the original New Hope, and then Empire. Irvin Kershner carried that forward very much, where all the sets were practical and it just looks beautiful when you watch it. The thing I wanted to say about The Last Jedi is a lot of people just that they make this excuse, and this even goes for Force Awakens and Rise of Skywalker, because we can't even really deny that those are visually stunning movies. They are, regardless of what you think about the storytelling of them. I mean, they're all pretty visually good.
I mean, the scene with in Rise of Skywalker when Kylo and Rey are fighting, I mean, that scene alone is just
both of those scenes actually. Where they have, because they have a couple different duels in that, which is great.
The one on the I was saying the one with the water.
The water is the best one though, because that is a lot of practicality used there, because they actually use like a water machine to do all that, which is really cool. And by the way, oh my gosh, well, now that we're on the subject, can I bring up when the water hits the lightsabers and you can actually that's really good. You hear it and you see it too, like it was actually that's top notch CGI.
And then the scene too, I mean, in that same scene too, when Kylo sees Harrison Ford, like, oh my gosh, when he sees Han Solo.
That is the best written scene in Rise of Skywalker. I will still stand by that.
I love that scene so much.
You can't complain about that scene. Like, the only thing that I could think of that I've heard about that scene is like, oh, Han Solo's not a Force ghost. No, you don't get it then, because you're not getting that he's playing this back in his mind. You're not understanding that. And they say as much, and it's the best written scene, because the dialogue in that scene in particular sounds like it came out of an amazing novel. Like, it felt like it was adapted from this incredible novel, that dialogue. And I tear up every time he shows up.
Look, and Harrison Ford, Harrison Ford killed it too.
He did. Yeah, best scene of the movie.
What a scene, by the way. That, I mean,
writing wise, yeah,
it's literally just them two, but the message. Oh, yeah, dude, it's.
Writing and performing, I would say that's probably the best scene in the whole movie. Yeah,
100%.
It's perfect. It's a perfect scene. Like, it really is. By the way, too, Daisy Ridley's performance in Rise of Skywalker, it baffles me every time, because that's well, that's one of the things about that movie is it's unfortunately it's received the way it is. And I get it. I do. I understand the problems are definitely there. They're clear. The problems with that movie are clear. They're in there, for sure. I don't know that story is entirely one of the problems, though. And the thing that's not a problem, though, with that, story is definitely kind of a problem. But the thing that's not a problem with that movie is the acting, and that's what's so unfortunate. That the performances are great across the board. Yeah.
The facial expressions of that, especially Daisy Ridley, puts on in this movie is, oh my god. I mean, throughout this entire trilogy, I mean, Daisy Ridley's performances have been some stellar performances.
They've gotten better with each movie too.
And same with Kylo Ren as well. Adam Driver. Yeah. I mean, with every movie, Adam Driver just outperforms. Man, he's too good.
I'm still bothered by the fact that in the third act, though, his one line is "ow." I'm still bothered by that. Like, that's his only line of dialogue in the third act, and that bothers me every single time I watch it, because I just wish he said a little more. Granted, really quick, because when they're looking at each other through their force back vision or whatever they're doing, not force back vision, I'm sorry, with their force Skype or force Zoom, like when they're looking at each other and they're about to, and she looks at him and he just kind of gives this nod. They say so much in their expressions without saying anything at all, and that's I commend them for that. Don't get me wrong. But anyway, so I wanted to
silence speaks a lot. I mean, sure. I've learned that specifically from A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place Part 2, because oh my goodness, silence can just speak so much. And I was gonna say too, actually, that I like the scene that I liked as well. One of my other favorite scenes from this movie was when Rey brought Kylo back. Well, I guess it was when he died, but like when she was crying like over him, and like he gave like his final words, and then just died right then and there. I was like, damn.
He didn't say
It's
anything. He didn't. He just
he said it with his face.
yeah. Well, it tears me up. He did actually, and it tears me up every time because when he sees Rey, and I wanted to bring this up too. I'm glad you mentioned that because this is another thing I was thinking the whole time throughout the entire trilogy is the fact that Kylo Ren never wanted to harm Rey. He didn't. Like if you watch, you can track it all the way back to Force Awakens. He never wanted to hurt Rey.
He literally was like, I'm going to finish what you started, grandfather.
Yeah. He never wanted to hurt Rey.
And he did that exact thing, which was to love someone.
Save the one he loved.
Save the one he loved, exactly.
Even though he might not have realized that, but the second he gets Rey in the interrogation room in Force Awakens, he wants to like keep her around. That's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to hurt her because you can see that in the contrast between him and Poe Dameron. When he's interrogating Poe, it's a different thing. He gets a different treatment than Rey did.
He says fuck, he says I don't give a fuck. I'll just do what I want to you.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to Rey, it's like, no, I'm gonna keep you around. I ain't gonna hurt. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Absolutely, he didn't want to, and I think that Rey maybe even misinterpreted the situation at the time. Because anyway, but like when he sees her on the ground dead,
I feel like their love story was a whole Beauty and the Beast type shit.
It was interesting.
When you really look at it, because like
definitely is Beauty and the Beast. Yeah,
yeah, because I mean, like the Beast was dying at the end of Beauty and the Beast, and then one like some tears and a kiss, and then I guess it was really actually just tears, and then the Beast turns into the prince.
Well, when he gets when he sees her on the ground dead, that's a devastated man. When Kylo Ren finds her dead at the end there, that's a devastated man. And I'm so sick of the Kylo Ren didn't have to die. Yes, he did, because the reason why is if Kylo Ren doesn't die, then it makes no sense how Rey defeats the Emperor, because when Rey defeated the Emperor, it had to take everything out of her, right? And so like otherwise we would have questioned why somebody didn't do that a long time ago. You know what I mean? Like if it doesn't actually kill her to do it, then it's just like, well, anybody could have killed the Emperor. No, Rey had to actually, like, it took everything out of her for, the whole third act is misunderstood by people. It took everything out of her to kill the Emperor, but then Kylo Ren finds her dead and brings her back to life. And if that doesn't take everything out of him, then you have a big problem in Star Wars, which is we can just bring people back to life anytime if you have the Force.
And also like he had to die as well, because it was his mission to save the one he loved.
Yeah, and there's a poetry there. You're right.
Exactly.
And you're right. There's a poetry to it as well, and people just don't understand that.
Because like you said again, you go back all the way to Force Awakens when he says that I'll finish what you started, and it was literally to save the one that he looked. Because Darth Vader's mission really the whole time was to save Padme, but then he finds out she was dead, and it's like it's too late. But and that's why Kylo throughout this entire thing is like, I will finish what you started.
Yeah, and Kylo's playing the Emperor the entire movie, by the way. If you really watch it and pay attention to what he's doing in Rise of Skywalker, he's playing Palpatine the whole time.
That's the thing, is because he was always on Rey's side.
He was in the whole movie. He never once is not on Rey's side. It's funny
even when they're fighting, he's still on her side.
Yeah, but the difference between that, and that's interesting, because I looked back at Last Jedi when he told Luke that he'd destroy her, and by that I think he meant turn her to the dark side, because that was always Kylo's one caveat to Rey, is like, I don't want to kill her, but I do want her on my side. And that's what he meant when he said that to Luke, I think. Is like, I don't want to kill her, I just want to turn her, that's what's really interesting about the whole thing, is like, is Kylo, and you're right, the whole time he's talking to her, he's like, the first thing he says to her when he meets up with her through Force Skype or Zoom, I really wish they'd come up with a good name for that, but their Force connection, when they meet up, he says Palpatine wants you dead. That's like the first thing he said to her. He's giving her a warning right then and there, and he's trying to help her through the whole movie.
He's always on her side.
Yeah.
And again, like the whole scene where he gets the lightsaber from Rey through the Force to beat up the Knights of Ren. I mean, that whole chemistry was sick.
Yeah,
I loved that.
Yeah,
loved that.
Yeah,
stuff.
He's giving her a warning. He's helping her. But he's just helping her in the way that he wants to, not the way that she should be helped. He wants her on the dark side. He thinks that this is going to be the way in. But
And then
yeah,
I mean, she was always trying to turn him to the light side, the good side as well, throughout this entire movie as well.
hmm and then what's interesting is she flirts with the dark side more so in Rise of Skywalker by the time you get there, because that's the reason I've said this. I don't know if I've ever said this to you, but to me, like, we probably did when we did the rewatch, but to me, the reason that Rey loses the fight, she does lose the fight, make no mistake about it. And on the water, Rey would have lost if Leia didn't do what she did. Like, she lost that fight. Kylo bested her. And the reason why is not because Kylo's more powerful at that point, but because he might be. But really, it's because Rey abandoned all patience, and so because she was done, she abandoned the patience, which is something that Qui-Gon warned against. Patience. Remember, that was his whole thing, and even Obi Wan carried that forward through Anakin.
Padawan.
Exactly, and Obi Wan carried it forward with Anakin all the time. You see it throughout Clone Wars and Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the. You see it all the time, and so at the end of the day, it was like Rey abandoning her patience is what made her lose that fight. And
that's the thing is, and then at the end of this movie, Kylo Ren turns Ben Solo, and he turns to the good side.
Yeah,
because of wanting to save his loved one, the one true love of his.
Well, he realized the power of the light side because Rey saved him, and
he realized how much more powerful the light side is than the dark.
In my mind, anyway, the thing he realized when she did that is, oh, that is what my grandfather set out to do, was to be able to stop somebody from dying, and she helped me do that just now,
And I feel like seeing Rey save him, or him saving Rey, it kind of just made him think back to the time when Luke force ghost himself to him, and he was like, okay, yeah, well, the light side is actually like this much more powerful than the dark side.
Yeah, well, Luke did warn him, what did he say? He said everything he said in that sentence was wrong to him in Last Jedi, which is one of my favorite lines. But yeah, he said that to him. And the thing, I wanted to go back though really quick to the Last Jedi part of it, where we were talking about the technical side of things, because I was trying to make a point there, and so, yeah, we went off on a tangent, which is fine. That's what the show's about. But I was saying a lot of people make excuses because you were saying how the technology is better, and that's true, and I'll grant anybody that who says that the technology is better, so it's going to look better for sure, and that Disney has the money to get this incredible cinematography. But at the end of the day, some of that stuff has nothing to do with it, because when we're talking about best directed film, at least in my mind, the director is still choosing what goes in the shot, how it's framed, like how's this shot going to actually look. Granted, you can have the glossiness and the polish and all that, but it doesn't really compare. It doesn't compare at all when you're just thinking about the mind of a director and what he's putting in the shots. And that's when I look at Last Jedi. It's the way that Ryan frames the shots, that's what makes it, to me, the best directed movie.
Yeah, that, I mean, I guess I would say that, like A New Hope and Empire would probably be on the same level as Last Jedi.
Perhaps.
I would definitely say Last Jedi is the best directed of the new ones for sure, hands down, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
It's just that when you look at A New Hope and Empire, I mean the cinematography and just the fluidness of those movies too, how the stories, how everything's framed as well.
I agree.
It's just I mean, and that's why Empire Strikes Back is my favorite movie of all the Star Wars ones, and my favorite movie of all time. It's just because of how it's because of how how good of a movie it is, how well shot of a movie it is. So
yeah, I just feel like too, the thing about going back to the sequels really quick here, the thing about New Hope, Empire, and Return of the Jedi, as far as the originals go, like every one of those movies to me, like even Return of the Jedi, which is the one I have issues with the most of the three, I still like it, but that movie, they all feel complete. There's something about, like, when you watch them, they all just feel so complete in their vision.
That's why it's the best trilogy.
Maybe even a little too long, which I'd rather something feel too long, I guess, than too short. You know what I mean? Like, because like Return of the Jedi feels like a little too long on its runtime to me, just a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, honestly, I agree. I agree with
just
that,
a little bit, not much, but just a little bit. But I'd rather that than having it feel too short. And when I'm watching the sequels, Force Awakens and Last Jedi feel fair. They feel complete to me. But when you get to Rise of Skywalker, it feels so incomplete. You know, it feels like
I
it's
feel
missing stuff.
yeah, I was about to say, I feel like it's not. In one aspect, I feel like it's too long, but in the other aspect, I feel like it missed a lot in the movie.
Yeah.
As in like some of the stuff that was put in that movie could have been replaced with something else that was probably more important or significant.
Sure, yeah. It just
For
feels
episode
incomplete.
9.
Yeah.
For example, I mean, I always come back to it, but the script that was originally supposed to be for episode 9 would have just made the movie so much better.
And if that movie was made, I can tell you right now that runtime would have been longer.
And that one would have been my favorite of the new movies, 100%.
Most likely, yeah.
No doubt about it, yeah.
Now, granted, and I doubt it because he's brilliant. I mean, Colin Trevorrow could have gotten behind that camera and completely fucked up the execution of it, but it's possible. But when you base it on the script and what we've seen from Trevorrow and past work, I mean, I would say that it would have been the best one and probably the most complete feeling one had they stuck to that script. And done it the way it was, and it probably would have turned out to be about a 3-hour movie, which is what you think it would have been for a Star Wars finale or Skywalker Saga finale. Like
that is true.
You would think that at least if Endgame and Infinity War get a 3-hour movie, like
you would think that Rise of Skywalker would too, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, and it always just feels incomplete to me. I know there's stuff missing from that movie every time I watch it.
100%. That's no doubt about it.
Yeah. I know they cut stuff out. They can't hide it, and the reason I don't know why they tried to hide it because it's gonna bother me till the day I die. They put that Blu-ray out, no deleted scenes. It's the only one they did without the deleted scenes. I'll never understand it.
You take it to your grave.
I think they got scared. I think they got scared that people were going to see the deleted scenes and get pissed. They were not going to be, that they ended up not in the movie because I bet they were pretty damn good. That's my theory. I bet those deleted scenes were really damn good.
Yeah, I don't doubt it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I bet they were fucking amazing.
But Last Jedi also had great deleted scenes in there that I wish would have been put back in. But at least when I watch that one, it feels complete. Again, like it still feels complete without the scenes. I always wish that the one that always baffled me that they took out of Last Jedi was Rey's training sequence where she goes from Luke fucks with her, because they're having that conversation about, what the first time they tell the story about what happened to Kylo Ren. They're in the cave and they're talking about it. And then what was supposed to happen is they were supposed to walk out. Rey was supposed to see fire in the distance and she was running after it, trying to save people. She gets in there and it's the caretakers having a party, and it was all a big joke, you know what I mean? And Luke is back there having a good time too, and it was a really good scene because she walked up to Luke and she's upset and devastated. When you watch how it plays out, it's great. She's upset and she's devastated, and it's in the novel too, the novelization of it, if you ever pick it up, this scene. And Mark Hamill says the best line here. He's like, I actually didn't think he'd go. He's laughing. He's like, you ran so fast though, And Rey is just pissed off and she's devastated. She gives a really good performance where she's like, and the line I love in that deleted scene is when she says, she's like, those legends about Luke Skywalker, I believed in them. That hit me when I saw that deleted scene. I wanted that scene back in the movie. Like I really do. But anyway, either way, that movie is great. It's phenomenal anyway. And you can kind of understand that Rey gets that without saying it, but I wish it was there. Anyway, so we do have great news to talk about to some degree. Obi Wan got pushed. 2 days. I'll never understand why it got pushed 2 days, but we get 2 episodes. There's a benefit here. Let me start with the cons and the thing that bothers me the most. Well, con number 1, we're getting it just a little bit later, but it's not that bad. But the thing is, like, why did they botch this release? Because May 25th is when A New Hope came out, the very first appearance of Obi-Wan, and to me, it's like, it's so weird that they moved it 2 days after that. Again, we're getting 2 episodes now, but I've been trying to analyze this and figure out why they did it, in the first place, because nobody's really given any kind of clear-cut answer on why it was done. The one thing that I can think of is, this is interesting, Stranger Things season 4 also comes out May 27th. So they're trying to compete. That's my opinion of it. But I don't understand it. But the fact that we get 2 in one day is actually pretty cool. I don't know, man. What do you think? Are you excited for it though? I mean,
I am. I don't care what day this thing comes out. I am just. I'm just excited that we're getting it. Honestly,
yeah.
I can't wait for this show. I can't wait to see what it brings. I'm actually super excited. Um, they should have released it on the first day that Ewan McGregor played Obi Wan Kenobi.
That would have been cool too.
Which would have been Phantom Menace. Which I mean, it was
that
May
was
19.
a May release as well, wasn't it?
It was May 19.
Oh, okay, that would have been cool too. Yeah.
So they could have done May 19.
I would have liked that
because Phantom Menace came out May 19th, 1999. So they could have done a May 19 release.
Yeah.
To just as honor, the first time that Ewan McGregor played Obi-Wan Kenobi on camera for Star Wars.
Yeah.
So
that would have been a cool idea as well. I agree. May 25th just seems so perfect, and I just don't understand why they pushed it from there. And May 27th is a date with no significance. Now my guess is the other thing we could say is what they'll probably do now, because Celebration starts on May 26th. So they'll probably do an Obi-Wan panel the day before now, to kind of get the excitement going for the next day. So that I could see, that I understand, and we might get like a trailer of here's what to expect for the rest of the season, that type of thing. So that's something that they could do that could be kind of fun. But I'm interested. I mean, I can't wait for the show. I mean, that's for sure. I can't wait. And it's gonna be a good week that week. We got Celebration going on during that time anyway, so I'm all in. I'm gonna take probably 26th, 27th off. And 28th all off, and just
look. Let's watch it, you and me, bro.
Yeah, we could probably maybe put reactions up to the panels.
I'm down, bro.
Mm-hmm.
What days are those? 26, 26, 27, 28.
26, 27, 28. I think is like the 3 main days. They'll probably. I don't know if it's a 3 or 5 day event, but like they'll probably do the main panels in the beginning as they always do. I'm still waiting on the. Obviously, we're still waiting on the schedule to be released to see what they're actually going to do event wise, but. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I think
it's the 26th to the 29th of May.
Okay, yeah, which I'll have nothing to do on 29th anyway, so I'll be okay. Yeah, so 26, 27, 28th.
So it's 4 days. It's a 4-day event.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm super stoked for Obi Wan. I think it's gonna be good. And like when they put out the promo with Ewan McGregor,
they're saying that it's coming out May 27th instead, but you're getting 2 episodes.
That was smart though, because you can't get mad at Ewan McGregor.
Exactly.
It was super smart.
You can't get mad at Ewan McGregor.
They did it in a way that was exciting still.
Exactly. I was about to say you can get mad at Ewan McGregor saying that the show was postponed 2 days, but that we're getting 2 episodes. You just can't get mad at him. I mean, it's Ewan fucking McGregor.
Yeah, he did it so well too in that promo. That might have been the performance of a lifetime.
Dude, that honestly, that promo was. I was gonna ask you if you had seen it. Dude,
I did. Yeah,
I loved that promo. It was a great promo.
It did definitely raise the excitement more, and it's a lot of the same 100%. Footage we already saw, but just like seeing Ewan McGregor talk about it, there's something to it, man. It really got the hype up.
I'm ready too for Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader in the show, bro. I actually can't wait.
Did you see the leaked set footage?
There's a duel between Obi and Darth. I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool,
dude. Yeah, I know.
I can't wait to see how that's like actually shot now.
Fuck, man, dude, I'm telling you, bro. I think the cinematography in the show is gonna be one of the best. It's gonna be one of the best of any of the shows that Star Wars has come out with.
In the trailer, I think we talked about this for some reason, and I don't know why. Tatooine, because we've seen it so much lately, I feel like. In this trailer, Tatooine just looks better than it has in a long time.
We did it last Imperial Order, and I mean, yeah, I totally agree. I honestly do think that this Tatooine looks the best that it ever has.
Yeah.
It just looks like Tatooine.
Yeah, a lot of people think Cal Kestis is in the show too. A lot of people really think so.
That's another rumor that I've been reading about, that people are saying that Cal Kestis is going to be in. I wouldn't be mad about it, honestly.
No, hell no. It'd be a cool. It's a cameo that would make sense.
Yeah, that is true.
That's for sure. And something else that we should probably bring up here too is that people are pretty positive that the Jedi Fallen Order 2 trailer is coming at Celebration. Like there's a
I
real
wouldn't doubt
good
it,
shot.
honestly.
Yeah, there's a good shot that they're gonna roll that out at some point. So, man, I can't wait to get that schedule. I imagine the schedule for Celebration, a lot of it's gonna be surprise movie announcements, surprise show announcement. Like they're not gonna have the titles of these like surprise projects in their panel titles. Like I think that we are gonna get some surprises at Celebration. I
100%.
I think I'm standing by it. I think there's going to be sequel trilogy related content coming that they're going to roll out. Something that's going to take place around there. That's going to be a Disney Plus series. I really do. I think there's something revolving around the sequels as well coming that they're going to roll out, but we'll see. I might be wrong.
We will see, indeed.
So wanted to bring up, there's another book coming out.
The Shadows of the Sith.
They're always releasing books, but this book in particular, I really wanted to talk about a little bit because so they put an excerpt from the book. It's out on the Star Wars website. We won't read it here today, but I recommend you go read it. This is some of the best writing I've seen for a Star Wars novel in a long time. Now, I hope the rest of the book reflects what they've put out. Holy shit, this sounds cool. So Luke Skywalker is pretty prominent in this book. It sounds like there's this sequence where he's like fighting these raids and shit. I'm like, oh my God, sign me up for this. The way that it's written is so well. And then there's this part where like, okay, like I read part of it, so I'm just giving you what I have. But so there's a part where he's almost like losing the fight. He's getting bested by these like Sith raids or some shit. He's getting bested by these guys, and this book is canon. I mean, and this is stuff that actually happened in the official canon. He's getting bested by them, and then like all of a sudden, I guess some figure shows up and like takes out the rest of the raids, and he looks up and it's like Anakin Skywalker's Force Ghost. I'm like, holy shit! So this is going to give us some information about that. I think I don't know what's going to happen, but this sounds really interesting. Shadows of the Sith. It's coming out soon, I think. But yeah, so this is just based on the writing. I did want to talk about this because based on the writing, this is I've read a lot of the canon novels, you know, and this is some of the best writing I've ever seen just from this one little excerpt that they put out. So I'm hoping the rest of the book reflects what they're going for here, because they definitely got me. They got my money, you know, on this one. This one I'm gonna pick up and read for sure, and I think it's gonna.
I'm gonna have to cop it too, if I'm being honest. It sounds like it's really fucking good.
Yeah, it just have a book with Sith in the title excites me.
Oh yes.
So yeah, that's another thing I wanted to bring up, because we're talking about all the time about the canon. While there's been some really good stuff in the canon, like where's the Sith content?
I was about to say, I think I have non-canonical Sith books here with my big ass collection.
Exactly. Yeah.
It'd be cool to have a canon Sith book.
Yeah. Where is it? Like they need to roll it out. And that's another thing I wanted to bring up too, is a Celebration. I hope that we do get some Acolyte information, you know, like finally I want more information on the Acolyte. But I think we'll get release dates at Celebration. Like I think like they'll probably announce Ahsoka coming out Q1 of next year, I would think. So
I just saw that they just released the cover for the Chrysanthemum Star Wars Tales #1 comic. So they're coming out with the Chrysanthemum comic.
Dope.
On May the 4th.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm into that.
That should be interesting.
For sure, man. For sure. I feel like there was one more story I'm missing here before we get into the Vader comics.
There's the Lego Star Wars.
Lego Star Wars, yes, thank you. And probably blanked from my mind because I'm so mad I didn't get to pick it up this week. I'm gonna grab it.
You started to GoFundMe. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, really. No, hop on my Twitter, man. I got Zelle. I mean, you can transfer that money right over.
Yeah, honestly, please, same. I've got Zelle. Please, guys, Zelle.
Seriously, yeah, because I mean, this game looks amazing. We talked about it on the show already about how great this game is.
How close to the movies they are. Honestly, like, I saw that I sent you that YouTube video of like comparing from the Skywalker Saga to the complete saga.
Yeah, explain to me your confusion on that initially.
I thought that the newest version was a complete saga. And
you switched them in your mind.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah.
No. No. This is the Skywalker Saga. The other one was
honestly the Sky. Yeah, it's literally so close to like so accurate to the movies. I honestly can't wait to cop it and play it. I mean, because I have the the complete saga on my DS,
Yeah.
and it's fucking amazing. I love it, and I just can't imagine how much better this complete saga is.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah. I think I think it looks
I mean,
great.
you get to fly the Millennium Falcon. Like you said, the Death Star looks so freaking accurate. Like it's so sick.
You get to do a
Honestly,
lot of things, and from
that's
what
what
I'm hearing,
and there's just so many characters you can unlock as well. From what I hear,
oh yeah,
there was like what, over 300 characters, I
something like
think.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So
like at least 300. I think they said
yeah,
300 plus when in the
yeah.
promo.
So
Yeah, dude, but the reviews have been reflecting
I
that.
can imagine.
They've been
I mean,
really good,
so
dude.
I mean, it's all over like Star Wars, the Lego Star Wars Complete Saga is all over social media.
Yeah,
Honestly,
the reviews have been phenomenal, and I haven't heard such good reviews about a Star Wars game in a long time. Even though Fallen Order had pretty good hype and stuff, but like it just wasn't as universally beloved, I guess, as Fallen Order, and like this one is getting the real hype. People are saying this is some of the most fun they've had playing a video game in a long time. Yeah, dude, I'm so stoked. Next week, I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to come back here and I'll let y'all know how it is, because I can't wait to put this in the PS5, knock that fucker into performance mode, and just go at it, dude. I think that this thing is going to be the shit. And you have no idea my hurt, man, because I have all my friends are playing and they're texting me and they're like, dude, you got to check it out. Come on, where you at? Like, I just can't swing it this week. Next week, I'll be able to do it. It's a $60 game, for Christ's sake. Give me a break. You know?
yeah. The Steam reviews are absolutely killing it right now. It says it's reviewed very well for being faithful to the movies. Humorous in our review called it the best looking Lego game ever made.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Though it's worth nothing than those loving details were allegedly made under crunch conditions.
Yeah. So it sounds like, we were complaining about the delays, but it sounds like they were worth it. The delays were done for good reason.
Says that it includes a ton of side characters who had relatively little screen time in the movies. However, the sheer scale of its ambition also meant that the game was subject to several delays since it was originally announced in June 2019.
Yeah.
It has over a little, as of the time of this writing, which this review came out today, it has over 3,000 reviews on Steam.
Wow.
That average to a very positive rating.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, see, look at that.
Many of them are incredibly enthused about the lore specific details that the developers put into the Skywalker Saga.
Yeah, man, look at that. Yeah. I wish the game was cheaper. That's the only thing I could say, but
some of them also seem, jokingly I hope, horny for the Lego characters in the game.
Yeah, dude.
Shoot, bro. I mean, Princess Leia in that slave outfit. Oh.
Yeah, dude.
Me every time. No, but I'm glad to hear about the lore heavy detail. Honestly,
yeah.
that those reviews right there just makes me want to get this game even more now.
I can't wait, dude. I can't wait. Dude. It's gonna be so worth it on the PS5, dude. I can't wait. And this thing.
So I can't wait to get my PC and just get it on Steam and just dude, I cannot wait.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be it's going to be one of these games we're going to be talking about for a long time, I think.
100%.
Yeah, because it's different, man. It looks so good, dude, and it looks like.
That's the thing is, it's 9 different movies. It's got over 300 characters. There's so much to do that this game is going to last a very, very, very long time. There's side
quests. There's free roam. I mean, this is the definitive Star Wars game, if you ask me. This
is literally Star Wars, like Assassin's Creed Lego version, like quite literally, but like Star Wars version, and I love it. I can't wait. I know this game is just going to be prevalent for like years and years down the line.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be one that people are gonna be talking about for a lot of years. Oh my God, there's a lightning bolt right behind me. But yeah, I honestly can't wait to cup this game and play it. I mean, is there like co-op on this game or multiplayer?
I think so. Yeah,
because like we could play together.
Oh, we'll see. I don't know if it's cross-platform. I'm getting the PS5 one, but yeah.
I mean, I hope it is cross-platform because that could be cool to play.
Yeah, for sure.
Together.
It would be fun. Yeah, and I hope I get to play with my friends and stuff. I think it is not cross-platform, but it's multiplayer co-op, and I think it's got all that too. Yeah, guys. So we're gonna continue with our comic reviews here, as we started last week, and I'm very excited to talk about these. Actually, the issues we're going to be speaking about specifically are it's going to be the 2015 Darth Vader issues 1 through 12, and this kind of really continues the story of Star Wars 2015 1 through 12. This is super
I
stuff.
sorry, before you continue, I
Yes.
have bad news.
What?
Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. It's not cross-platform.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry.
But and also there's no multiplayer. The only way you can play is couch co-op, meaning being in the same room and playing a split screen. So
yeah, but you know what? I miss good couch co-op though, and that could be cool too if I have somebody.
Honestly,
over.
I do miss having. I was about to say I do miss having friends over and playing in the same room. So
yeah. But
yeah, sorry.
We'll still talk about it together and all that when it comes to it. Anyway,
Vader
so Vader 2015 1 through 12. As I was saying, I'm reading these again. I guess I never realized how much of a continuation these actually are of the Star Wars 2015 1 through 12. But they really do expand on that story a lot, and that's one of the things I really liked about them. So starting with issues 1 through 6 here, we're looking at which make up this graphic novel here entitled Vader, and I love that cover art there. It looks fantastic. But yeah, so this makes up Vader, the issues 1 through 6. So my thoughts on this graphic novel in particular, Vader. It's definitely artwork wise better than Star Wars 2015 1 through 12. I don't know if you would agree with that. I think
I mean, yeah, I was just, I mean, the couple of things that I wanted to point out first. One is that I definitely prefer these Vader issues 1 through 12 to the entire Star Wars 1 through 12. Not only, like you said, because of the graphics, 100%, so much better than much better than Star Wars issues 1 through 12, and the dialogue and the stories with these Vader comics issues 1 through 12. I just enjoyed more than the Star Wars issues 1 through 12. So that's just, I did actually really enjoy this one a lot more. This one was easier for me to read through than the Star Wars issues 1 through 12. So I did enjoy these a lot more.
Yeah. Written by Kieran Gillen, not to be confused with the one from Jumanji, and then illustrated by Salvador LaRocca.
He's the one that's doing the Chrysanthemum Star Wars Tales number 1.
Oh, is he? Okay, he's illustrating
May 4th.
Salvador LaRocca. Okay, cool. Yeah, he's a really good artist. Honestly.
Oh yeah, he did really good with this Vader comic.
Yeah. I definitely love these illustrations for sure. You just look at this artwork and it's so beautiful.
Dude, honestly, yeah. On the site on the place I'm reading them, I mean, shit, the graphics look like they're just so good, man. The comics,
and 1 through 6 are interesting because one of the things I loved about issues 1 through 6. I'll start with a pro here for me, and then I'll get into a couple negatives, I guess. For me anyway. So one of the pros, I love the Palpatine stuff. I think the Palpatine interactions in issues 1 through 6, it 100%. Makes a lot of it works, and it really carries the story forward.
Oh yeah.
But going with the con, we've read a lot of this stuff already too. There's a lot of flashing back to the 2015 and 1 through 6. There's a lot of that stuff going on, but I like this, man, because it's showing Vader teaming up with Dr. Aphra, who's a new character for you. One that's I'm interested in your take on.
I was gonna say I really enjoyed, honestly.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Dr. Aphra.
Yeah.
She is badass. She's so sick, man. I want to read more about her, honestly. I really do. I want to read not only the comics because I believe she's in books as well. I really want to.
You could find. I think they made a novel. No, you know what? They did a. She has her own comic run going on.
I know that. Yeah,
a couple of them. She's got one from 2015, and then there's a new one in 2020 as well, which are both canon. And then she has also they did an audio book, and you can actually pick up the script. It's like an audio book. It's not an audio book. I'm sorry. It's an audio. It's on Audible. You know how they're doing almost like movies now, like audio movies. That's kind of what it is. And that you can pick up the script, I think, at Barnes and Noble for that as well. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, but she's a great character. Her and her two little droids. We have BT and why am I blanking on her version? They're versions of C-3PO and R2. Basically, they're like her proxies.
Oh yeah, BT.
Why do I always blank on the other one?
I forget his name too. Honestly, I can't. Oh gosh, I can't remember.
Yeah, what I love though is, I mean, there's great moments in this book throughout. Like him teaming up with Boba Fett. I love that he intimidates Bib Fortuna like early on there, like with the lightsaber. Like that stuff is cool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
hundred
I've
percent.
tried to flip through to find out his name. I can't believe I forgot it because that 3PO droid is great. The her droids are phenomenal. Her droids really make up a lot of this stuff and make it really good.
000.
000, thank you. Oh my gosh, I was gonna kill me. But yeah, we get some interesting flashbacks in this novel or this graphic novel with Anakin and Padme. We see a little bit of that going back there's a lot of really great meaty stuff, but the crux of the story is he's hiring these bounty hunters to go find Luke Skywalker now, right? Because we got revealed in the last one, I think it was Boba Fett, right? Revealed to him it was Luke Skywalker in Star Wars 2015,
Yeah,
and so now we're kind of continuing that path. Yeah, I think this Vader graphic novel is a really good time. I think it is an improvement and a step up from Star Wars 2015 1 through
hundred
12,
percent.
and really good stuff. So definitely recommend checking it out, guys, if you haven't done so already. The second graphic novel is going to be issues 6 through 12, or I'm sorry, this is 1 through 6. Vader was 1 through 6. This is 6 through 12, which is really what I want to start talking about, which is Shadows and Secrets. Now, I loved the crap out of this graphic
Oh yeah,
novel.
I got through issues 6 through 12 easier than 1 through
Oh my
5.
god, it's so good, is it not? I mean, there is some amazing stuff in this. I mean, first of all, Dr. Aphra just backtalks Vader. Like she has no
She gives,
quarrels
bro,
about that.
she gives no fucks.
Yeah,
Like
she
she
is
gives
fucking
zero
great.
fucks. Yeah,
Her
dude, she's such a badass, bro. Honestly,
yeah,
I am like in love with her character. I actually just can't, I want to read more about her.
yeah.
Honestly.
And I was just so enamored by Vader's mission here, dude. And like, oh god, who was the guy? They're on Naboo, I think. The Naboo thing was interesting when they go to Naboo and revisit that. That stuff was all really cool when they're, kind of interrogating people there. It was really
Oh
this
yeah.
like we're kind of getting this really dark detective story is really what we're getting. Is Vader kind of going around and using his tactics to interrogate people to try to find out information about Star Wars, and a lot of the information that we are finding out about where Luke is based on stuff we already know from the movies and shit. It's really, really interesting stuff here. This stuff I loved. I mean, we got some familiar characters. Bosk shows up in this one too,
Yeah.
which was really fantastic to read.
There was that Jedi guy who had like rockets on, or had like his boots were like
Yeah,
yeah, that was really cool. That with the yellow lightsaber. He
yeah,
was pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll flip it through too to try to refresh my memory because I read these
And
last
his
week. But
sister as well.
yeah, yeah. That's who I was talking about. I'm sorry. The guy with that guy was cool. The Jedi guy with the rockets. Yeah.
And then
You're right.
the guy with
Him and his
the guy
sister.
with
Yeah.
yeah, and then that guy with the weird like lizard eye.
Oh
His name
yeah.
is Silo V is his name. He was
That's
sick
right.
too.
Yeah, Silo V is a really good character in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Interested to see, where this all goes, because really what this is all leading into, and I just think that the 6 through 12 was such a great setup for it. The whole thing, I guess, to a degree. It's going to lead into the Vader Down crossover, which we'll get into next week, where Star Wars 2015 line and the Vader 2015, they're going to cross paths in Vader Down, which I'm just interested to get into all that, because this really sets it up nicely. If you ask me, I'm trying to think about because I mean Vader, he's going back to Tatooine here, man. I mean, there's lots of fun stuff in here, and he was trying to retrace the steps, because he even like he sensed it with the Force, if I'm not mistaken, when Luke was at Tatooine, and he kind of retraced Luke's steps at Tatooine, if I'm not mistaken. I just found that to be very cool, man. And it's back at Obi Wan's old place, which I know that like to foreshadow some things. Like one of the things we're gonna really start getting into with Star Wars 2015 is the journals of Obi Wan, and Luke kind of diving into those.
I was gonna say that's what I think. Yeah, I think that we'll get a lot of that explained too in the Obi-Wan series as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So
And Vader like force choking Afra and stuff too. Like that stuff is great.
oh
When he's
yeah.
just getting pissed off, and man, it's a good story, man. Like this, when you start to read the Vader stuff in this 2015 line of comics that they were putting out, dude, back then. I mean, when you got around to Vader, you were like, oh my gosh, this is actually really compelling stuff. And we're kind of going down a different path. I can't wait to get back into the Vader Down crossover. I think that's going to be some of the most fun that we're going to have in terms of a good read here on this show when we get into that and we get to talk that spoiler heavy. I think we're gonna have some fun stuff. I don't know, you gotta love the smell of books, dude.
Dude, the smell of old books is just
that's fantastic. But yeah, dude, this is a really nice setup for Vader down. But
X-Wing Rogue Squadron.
Oh, nice. This
book is really good so far, by the way.
I need to check it out for sure.
Book 1 in the 9-book X-Wing series trilogy, or no series, sorry.
Yeah,
pretty sure it's 9 books.
Yeah, I need to get back into Legends at some point. The reason we're doing the comics is because I need a refresher on canon. You know, like there's so much canon stuff I want to refresher on, because now I feel like with these shows and stuff, they're really starting to tie all this stuff in. You know, especially with Obi Wan coming up, like there's going to be some stuff from these comics and stuff they're going to tie in, I believe. Now that we're reading like actual canon. Yeah, dude, you're right though. But like, you know what struck me about 6 through 12. Again, it's the illustration, man. It's so good. It's so prevalent, and like
that's what I mean. Yeah,
the nighttime scenes, man, are great. Like when they were, I think it was Naboo they go to, if I'm not mistaken. And when they go to Naboo, it's like Naboo at night, and it's beautiful. You look at it and it's gorgeous, man. I mean, it's really, really beautiful stuff, man. So I love it. I love it to death. And yeah, you know, Afra's obviously going to play a bigger role as we get more into these in the comics, and I'm excited about that. But yeah, dude, the story's great. Who's the guy that this is not the guy, I'm sorry, the thing we got to talk about. Well, we talked about the Jedi twins already. But the guy who's helping Vader, what was his name? He's kind of assisting Vader. He's like bald with the mustache, and oh god, I can't remember his name, but
you got me there. I can't remember his name, but
he was
I do remember.
Good character too, man.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
He was actually like I like the way him and Vader played off each other, in this, and yeah, and Vader's just at this point in this comic, he's taken over. He's manipulating people to get his way, you know.
100%.
And like I expect nothing less, but I love that, dude. I love that he's kind of going through manipulating folks to get his way. Yeah, dude. But this is a really good read, guys. This is probably, of all the graphic novels we've read so far, this is the best one, the Shadows and Secrets so far. Look at those Afro tattoos, man. Like those are dope. Like on those tats. I don't know if you can see those. Those are really fucking sick.
Those are sick. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I want they'll never do it, but I want an Afro series, and I want Zendaya to play Dr. Afro. I've been saying this since 2015, before Zendaya was even the Zendaya we know today. Like honestly, that would be.
I think Zendaya would play as I say, I think Zendaya would play a perfect Dr. Afro.
She would be amazing in that role, and I hope that they do that someday. That would be really.
And it would be Zendaya's first time in the Star Wars role.
Yeah, I think she'd do great with it. Yeah, you do the series right, man. You can actually build that to work with her, but I think she'd be great casting.
Sorry, one thing that I've noticed this entire recording is how the lightsaber on the background comes out through your microphone thing.
Oh, it kind of does, doesn't it? It's very parallel.
It looks like your microphone is a lightsaber.
Yeah. Oh. All right. That's great. Yeah.
This was definitely a good read. Issues 6 through 12 are definitely my favorites, and it's the best read that I've had from all the comics we read so far. That one's been my favorite read.
Oh yeah. 6 through 12 were the best. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Well, next week, guys, we're gonna get into Vader Down, which it's exciting stuff. I think Vader Down is. I'm looking forward to you reading that, Jose. I think Vader Down is gonna be great. I'll send the issues out to you that you got to read for that. And we'll do Vader Down. That'll be the only graphic novel we'll be going over next week. And then once we're through Vader Down, I feel like it's going to be smooth sailing for the rest of these from there. Yeah, so because the rest of the Star Wars series is really good for 2015. It's to me anyway. I think it's all pretty decent stuff. So, yeah, guys, look, that's it. That's Imperial Order. It's been a fun one.
All right.
Love it. But yeah, guys, thank you for joining. If you haven't done so, if you're on Spotify now, actually, please go to the YouTube channel, hit the like button below, subscribe to the channel, leave feedback in the comment section, do all that. Helps us out tremendously. And if you're already on YouTube, if you're watching the video form, go to Spotify. I'll leave a link in the description. This Imperial Order is on the Animax Entertainment feed, along with movie mornings. So make sure you're checking all that out. I've been also putting out some short form stuff on the channel. Hopefully you guys have noticed that, enjoyed that. Comment your feedback. Let me know if you want more of that, because I'm kind of having fun doing them. Not gonna lie. Yeah, guys. So that'll be it for today. I want to thank Jose for joining. Jose, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on all socials at Type Latino and on Stereo. I do Stereo with Dave over there, so make sure to go check that out.
Yeah. And you can find me on Twitter at Dom_Martino_ and on Instagram Dom_Martino_ official. Go over and check out the Spotify socials for Anorex. Twitter at Anorex official, Instagram Anorex official across both platforms. Definitely check out Jose and Dave's stereos. They've been pretty entertaining so far. They've had some good conversations talking about Game of Thrones. The rewatch.
Hey.
One of my
first time watching it.
Yeah, and his first time watching it, which has been interesting. We're gonna put up a reaction video of his red wedding here. We're gonna release it, so I'm very excited about that. Yeah, guys, so much. Thank you. Appreciate it more than you'll know. And like the video, subscribe to the channel again. Leave feedback in the comment section. Share this with your friends. Hit the bell for notifications. We're gonna take off. I've been Don Martino. That's been Jose Espinel, your Star Wars correspondent for the day. Talk to you guys later.